So Kevin, you had a big move this year. You know, I know the Strike King and Lews family really wanted you on the rod reel side, and you did make the move to Lews this year. I know they're really happy about that, and you've got some brand new Signature Series products to tell us about.
Yep. So this has been something I've been working on really since about this time last year. You know, really around August, we started. You know, right away. I knew that I wanted to develop this, and Lews has, you know, tremendous products already. They've got, you know, unbelievable reels, and they've got a full product line, but I'm pretty particular about what I like. So we developed a series of rods and then matching reels for them. So the rods first, let's talk about those. So it's a really complete set in the fact that we have 23 different models in the line. And they're very technique specific. I put a lot of time in developing these actions, these handle lengths, the components, everything about them to make them for the way that I like to fish. You know, so there's 10 in their IM8 graphite casting models, you know, and everything from, you know, jerk baits to spinner baits to skipping a jig on the docks to, you know, throwing a swim bait or a spinner bait or, you know, a flipping stick. So there's 10 of those. There's 7 spinning models, and same thing again. They're, you know, everything from, you know, all different lengths all the way up to some of my favorite smallmouth rods, you know. So there's 7 of those. They're all IM8 graphite. And then there's 6 composite casting. So the rods that I like to use, I love crankbaits. And I think a composite rod is the way to go for not only crankbaits, but for also, like, you know, bladed jigs like a Thunder Cricket. So I've got a couple of bladed jig models in there. So there's 23 total. Again, they're all different lengths and actions. A lot of them have very specific, you know, tapers to them for them. A lot of really extra fast actions, especially in all the graphite models. And one thing that's kind of unique is that we came up with a new labeling system. So this is one of them right here, and you can see it's a GC 5. And so this is my skipping rod and frog rod. It's a 7.2 medium heavy action. And what it means is graphite casting in that model. So for me, when I've got a bunch of them laying on the deck that all look the same like this, I can look down and know which rod that it is real quick. And then also for a consumer, you know, if they want to say, hey, I want to use the same rod that Kevin's throwing for a jerkbait, they can pick this up. So some of the features of them is it has this full contact handle blank there, so you really get a ton of sensitivity. It's got a split grip, you know, lure keeper on it. You know, it's another thing that just drives me crazy is if I'm, you know, you get a crankbait hung or something like that, and you poke it out of it, trying to poke it out of the rocks and knocking your rod tip up. So we put really super strong tips on these zirconia insert tips. So you're not going to have that problem happen. And, you know, through the whole series, whether you're talking about a spinning rod, a graphite casting rod, or one of these composite rods, they're all $99.95. I mean, so I wanted to build a high-end rod, a high-quality rod that I could compete and fish with, but also be a tremendous value. So when you fish and feel this thing, the way, you know, again, and they're very specific. I was real particular about the handle lengths to get the right balance for all of these different techniques. And you can go down the whole list and kind of see what they are. You know, this fall, I'm also going to do individual videos on each rod so that people know exactly what I use it for and why it was designed the way that it was. And it really kind of makes a lot of sense. So when you take all that into account. So again, there's 23 total models, spinning, casting, graphite casting, and composite casting. And, you know, they're all labeled with that system. Heck, here's one of the spinning rods. This is the GS9. This is one of my favorite smallmouth rods. It's a 7.4 medium light. It's got a super extra fast tip. All the spinning models have this rear grip to tighten it on there. It's really, really comfortable, and they have a great balance. Got a lure keeper, you know, it's awesome for putting a drop shot weight or anything on there, putting your baits back there for it. They're real light. They're really balanced real well, but the tapers of them is what I think really makes them special. So I'm really proud of this series of rods. And I again, for $100, they're a high quality rod that is just a tremendous value.
Interesting. Yeah, for less than $100 to get a KVD Signature Series rod, you know, all these, well, it's really incredible value.
Yeah, when I went to the engineers here at Lews and said, "Hey, this is what I want to do," I knew that I wanted to build something that's durable, that's really going to be high performance, but is also going to be a value. I just think that a lot of the equipment is really gotten out of hand for for the average fisherman or even the serious fisherman. I carry 30 rods in my boat. If you got $300 reels and $300 rods, it doesn't take long to rack up a lot of money. So I think you can really have a high quality product and do it at a great value. So that's what I challenged the team with, and they really came through. I mean, I really am proud of how this whole project has turned out. And when you put one of these rods in your hands and pick one up, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for taking us through that and matching up with those rods. You have a KVD LFS series casting reel. The rods and the reels are all available for pre-order at Tackle Warehouse right now.